Shots fired. A major meltdown within the California Democratic Party as a big city Democrat mayor here in California calls out Governor Gavin Newsom for, quote, childish antics and bad policies, particularly on crime. Coming up, we'll tell you who is picking a fight on the Democrat side with Gavin Newsom and why it could be one of the biggest headaches for Newsom as he tries to run for president. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. And boy, get out a box of popcorn. There is an intra-party feud that just broke out into the open within California Democratic circles. Here in California, a big city mayor, one of the largest city mayors, Democrat, is openly criticizing Governor Gavin Newsom. In a no-holds-barred editorial, this mayor took shots at Newsom and then doubled down by going on and doing video interviews with TV stations. The liberal media in California is not reporting this long simmering feud, but we've got the dirty details, including the editorial and the media clips. But first, before I get to the attack that has been launched by a Democrat here in California on Gavin Newsom, we need your help to stop Gavin Newsom with his corrupt redistricting scheme in the November election. We are working hard in the next several weeks to launch the No on Prop 50 ground campaign, and we need everybody involved. So go to the website defendfairelections.org, defendfairelections.org. That's where you'll get all the information as to why we should vote no on Prop 50. Includes all the talking points you can share with your friends, your family, your colleagues, your coworkers, and your neighbors. But also, when you're on that website, please do two things. Sign up at the bottom of the website so that you will be tethered into the growing statewide campaign to defeat Prop 50. We're doing a statewide bus tour starting October 10th, and we want to make sure that you get invited to all of our events in your area. So go to the bottom of the website, put in your first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code, and sign up. Also, please, while you're at the website, chip in a contribution. We desperately need financial support to wage the battle to win the no on Prop 50 fight. By doing that, not only do we stop Gavin Newsom's corrupt redistricting scheme, but we will also end his political campaign for president. Because if he can't win in his own home state with a blue electorate, he is not going to have a chance to win the presidency. So get on that website and be part of our fight. defendfairelections.org. Okay, so who is taking shots at Newsom? See, this guy's a big deal. His name is Mahan. Now, you might say, well, I don't know who he is. Most of you won't know who he is, but he is a big name in California Democrat politics. Mahan is mayor of San Francisco, and he has been a tough on crime mayor. He actually was one of the mayors that we worked with in the fight to put Prop 36 on the ballot and pass Prop 36, the Make Crime Illegal Again initiative that voters overwhelmingly supported and that Gavin Newsom openly opposed and then decided not to fund in his budget. So much for respecting the will of the voters. He actively decided to overturn the voters' will. By passing Prop 36, 68.7% of voters said, we want this to be done. Newsom comes along in his budget and says, they passed it, but I'm not going to fund it. So Mayor Mahan starts out attacking Newsom for his childish social media rants. Here's a post from this weekend. The way we win the fight for a better California is by solving problems in the real world, not by stooping to Donald Trump's level online. He's calling out Newsom for the antics that a lot of people are calling Newsom out for. Here is Fox News, obviously. Arroyo, Gavin Newsom is copying Donald Trump, and it's not the answer. To which Newsom spokesperson Brandon Richards, who's a real beta soy boy, who lives in the basement of his mom's home and just sits there behind his little keyboard spewing nonsense. Arroyo has now spent his entire weekend not getting it. What a way to spend your holiday weekend, not getting it. So what this is all about is Newsom is acting like a child online, posting in all caps and saying, false and just childish things. They're saying that they're using AI to copy Donald Trump's approach. But what they're doing is, and I covered this in a previous podcast, what they're doing is basically playing childish games on the internet, trying to pretend to be all macho. But the reality is this: Donald Trump is macho. He's the real deal. Newsom is a cheap knockoff imitation. Everyone knows that Newsom's a beta. He's a soy boy. He's a weakling. And he's criticized Trump for so many years, but now, oh, golly, I want some chum in the water. I want some social media attention. I need clickbait. And so he's using his social media account to be provocative and try to, get headlines and get clout on the internet. And his entire team knows that he's acting like a clown, but they're trying to pretend like they've got a clever strategy. And that, the problem is when you criticize Newsom for being a child online, the problem is that you just don't get it. You just don't get it. That's what someone says when they say something that's not funny. Oh, you just don't get my humor. You just don't get it. That's right. You're not in our secret little club. I don't want to be in your blanking little club. You're a child. You're an idiot. You're a clown. It's not that I don't get it. I do get it. And the fact that you continue to say, oh, you just don't get it, you're more pathetic than you were just being a clown. So Newsom's team is trying to do this and trying to claim that somehow there's some hidden strategy here that no one gets. No one gets. Well, that when someone's stupid, they just continue to say no one gets it. Anyway, so Mahan publishes this op-ed in the San Francisco Standard. How about less time breaking the internet and more time fixing California? Ooh, he said the quiet part out loud. He's acknowledging that California is a dumpster fire. It's a side accident on the side of the road with the highest cost of living, a surging crime rate, the most homelessness than any other state, despite spending $24 billion of taxpayer money and wasting it and lining the politics, the pockets of political developers and contributors. We've got failing schools. Everything about California sucks, except for the weather. But eventually they'll probably screw that up too. Subheadline: San Jose's mayor knocks Governor Gavin Newsom for choosing online antics over sensible policies. So the op-ed I'm not going to go through the whole op-ed. Op-ed basically says, Gavin, you're a crazy, failed governor. You're inept. Your policies have caused damage. And you continue to lie about it. You continue to not do anything about it to fix the problems that you created. And instead, what you're doing is covering up your problems, trying to distract from your problems by being an idiot online. That's basically what the editorial says. But it's written by one of the biggest city Democrat mayors in California. This is a big friggin' deal. But of course, the liberal media in California trying to bury it. This should actually be national news. It should be national news that the governor of a blue state has the leading big city mayor in his state, also a Democrat, attacking him for ineptitude, incompetence, and childish behavior. Oh, and by the way, this governor's now trying to run for president. This is a big deal. If you had another Republican candidate running for governor, if the roles were reversed, all the media would be saying, oh, look at this guy. Even a fellow Republican in his own home state says that he's inept. But not a word by the national media and almost nothing by local state media. Mahan is not backing down. He appeared on Fox 40, Inside California Politics. This is Mahan this weekend attacking Newsom for not funding Prop 36. not respecting the will of the voters. You have Newsom saying with Prop 50, his corrupt redistricting scheme, that he's trying to trust the voters. He wants the voters to decide. He doesn't care what the voters have to say. He only wants to use them as window dressing for his power grab. Here's Mahan doubling down on his criticism.
Move on to Prop 36, tough on crime measure that passed in the last election overwhelmingly. As mayor in San Jose, it's a nonpartisan position, but as a Democrat, you were one of the few that came out in support of this. Governor Newsom didn't like it. Legislative leaders didn't like it. You have still been a voice for this. This needs to be implemented correctly. There needs to be money put behind it. There was a lot of questions if that was going to happen in the legislature. Since the last time we spoke, the legislature allocated $100 million. Democrats in the legislature have said that is not enough money. Where are you at now? What do you want to see the state doing?
Well, I appreciate Senator Umberg and others, Senator Blakespear, Assemblymember Krell. There have been voices of.
So Newsom asked for zero. Even the Democrats in the legislature said, my gosh, the voters voted for Prop 36 to get tough on crime. We better give some money to this thing. The full bill was $400 to $500 million. Newsom said zero. The Democrats went ahead and did $100 million in the legislature. We Republicans asked for the full $400 to $500 million. So when liberal Democrats in the legislature actually know that Newsom is wrong and say, no, we can't not fund at least a portion of this, Newsom is a petty child extremist on this. He's just upset that voters didn't go his way, and so he's just not going to fund it. He'll show them.
Krell, there have been voices of sanity on this issue, but I'm disappointed, frankly. We said during the Prop 36 campaign, it's a two-step process. The voters need to make clear that they expect accountability for retail theft, and they want to see people get treatment, and then the governor and the legislature need to fund expanded treatment, and it hasn't happened. $100 million in a $250–300 billion budget is embarrassing. It's a joke. It's not serious. We have to have places for people to go. I reject this false choice that we've been given by so many of our leaders. They've basically said you can either have mass incarceration, which is immoral, or you can let people use drugs in public and just accept that your public spaces aren't going to feel safe or clean. I reject that. That's a false choice. What we need to do is the common sense thing here, which is build inpatient treatment, build mental health capacity, and move people into a supportive environment where they get the help that they need, but mandate it. If you're repeatedly stealing from the local business or using meth in a public park, you have forfeited the right to just continue around doing what you've been doing. We need to intervene and mandate treatment. For that to work, though, we have to have those facilities, and that is squarely the responsibility of the state and the counties.
Calling him out, calling Newsom out. Newsom pretends like he's all tough on crime. He just spent last week saying he's deploying a couple CHP officers out there. It's all showboating. It's all window dressing. And now you have a leading Democrat mayor of one of the biggest cities, San Jose, openly calling out the governor for failures and being a child on the internet. Whew. Tough week for Gavin Newsom. And we hope that those tough weeks just continue, which is why we need your help in the fight to defeat Newsom's latest scheme, Prop 50, the corrupt redistricting scheme that he's put on the ballot in the November 4th special election. He's got all the dark money on his side. We've got people power on ours, but we need you. Join the growing movement to stop Gavin Newsom's Prop 50 and to end his race for president in one fell swoop. Two birds with one stone. Two birds with one stone on this one. No on Prop 50. Defend fair elections. Go to that website, defendfairelections.org. Sign up and chip in a contribution. Until next time, Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.